let's go through these Copa America results and my predictions, see how well I can do. I did, so Argentina won this matchup 2-0, so I'll get a point for that. I had Chile winning here, but they tied 0-0, so 0 points for that. Um, let's see here. So, yes, Argentina beats Chile 1-0, so I'll get a point for getting the winner, but didn't get the result correctly. And then Canada beats Peru 1-0 also, and so I'll just get another point for that. Argentina beat Peru 2-0, so I'll actually get 2 points for this for getting the correct result. And Canada and Chile tied, so I'll get 0 points for that, but I got Argentina and Canada out of the group as I predicted. So not a bad start here. And now let's take a look at Group B. So we had, Mexico beating Jamaica, 1 point for that. It was a 1-0 game. Venezuela actually beat Ecuador. So, I got 0 points for this, having Ecuador and going against one of my home nations. So that's bad on me. And then we had Venezuela beating Mexico 1-0. So bad on me again. And Ecuador beating Jamaica 3-1. So 1 point. Mexico and Ecuador, I think this ended up being a 0-0. So 0 points here. And then Venezuela, Jamaica had 3 goals, but thought Jamaica might be able to pull one, and they didn't. So I get Venezuela and Ecuador coming out, just not in the right order. So not bad there as well. And this is where the trouble begins. So USA Bolivia, USA wins this one 2-0. So 1 point here. Uruguay Panama, this is a 3-1 game, I believe. Yes, that's correct. So 1 point here. Panama USA, the scores were flipped. We can dwell on this game a lot, being a USA fan. And, I would say Panama didn't show they were half bad against Uruguay, getting a 3-1 result. Just seeing the game, it just seemed like they had some good stuff going for them. Some dangerous players available and just quick to get on the ball and get forward. So I knew this was going to be a tough game. And, just the red card very early on really set the USA back, and they weren't able to retain their 1-0 lead. So 0 points here. Uruguay Bolivia, this was a 5-0 match. So got the winner correct, got the clean sheet, just not the additional 2 goals. And then USA Uruguay thought would come down to a tie, but Uruguay wins this one 1-0. A little controversial as well. Couldn't tell you how many people I had come up to me in my office and literally just talk my ear out for at least 5 to 10 minutes about this game. Just, still pissed off about that game. And that's just football. That's common bull. And just bad refereeing as well. So there's that. And let's see, Panama and Bolivia. This ended up being a win for Panama. And so I thought Bolivia could pull the results. It looked like they were going to do something else, but Panama it's a good side. So I didn't get these correct. So we'll fix that later, or we'll just fix it now, just to get our predictions correctly. We'll come here as well, and we'll just put Ecuador in the first place, or it's actually Venezuela in the first place. So put Venezuela in first because that's just what happened. I got the points recorded. Venezuela, Ecuador. And now let's come to Group D. Brazil, Costa Rica. I mean, yep, we saw that happen. A 0-0 between them. And I got 0 points for that. Colombia, Paraguay. I have 3-1 here. So, and this ended up being 2-1. So almost there. Paraguay, Brazil. I gave Brazil the edge here. And yes, they did end up coming out with a 4-1 victory. So I'll give myself a point for that. Colombia, Costa Rica. 3-0 out of 2-0. So almost had it there. And Brazil, Colombia. Had Colombia winning, but it was a tie. So 0 points there, and then another tie here, Paraguay, Costa Rica. But Costa Rica ended up taking this one very impressively. 2 shots, 2 goals. That's all it took. So then that sets up our quarterfinals. So let's go ahead. Let's do some quarterfinal predictions. Argentina, Ecuador. This might be a little closer, given that Argentina just seems like they're trying to cruise through this tournament. They're not really worried if they lose, and so yeah, I'll just give them a 2-0. Maybe Ecuador has a chance to scare them a bit, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. Yeah, Ecuador tying Mexico 0-0. So let's see what happens. I mean, Argentina's one of the best teams in the world, so this should be a victory for them. We have Venezuela, Canada, and I'm gonna stick with this result, 2-1 to Venezuela. It seems like they're just super hot right now. Canada has shown to struggle with some of the Common Bowl teams, but luck has favored them in some of these games. Just, certain red cards took place, and that kind of opened up the game for Canada to be able to take advantage of and get 3 points. So I think Venezuela should be able to get this result. And obviously we don't have USA, so let's change that real quick. Instead, we do have Panama. So changing this. And for some reason, USA is still in second place. There might be something wrong with the scoring, so it's just something I'll have to fix later. We're just going to change this to Panama. Uruguay, Brazil. This is going to be a great game. Brazil don't look like they're at their fullest strength, and just seeing the game today against Brazil and Colombia. Colombia was really just dictating the show there. Brazil were trying to get their breaks on the counterattack, but they just weren't being very effective with those opportunities. And Rodrigo just nowhere to be seen. Vinicius Jr. is very limited there in the left wing. So I'm going to take Uruguay 2-1. This could very well go into extra time. And then Colombia and Panama. I'll give Panama some props, and we'll go with the 2-1 result to Colombia. They should be able to get through in these knockouts. So now we have Argentina, Venezuela. I think 2-0 is a justifiable score there. It could maybe be more, but let's see what Venezuela can do. It's just going to be tough coming up against Argentina, and they're just going to run the show in this game. Uruguay and Colombia, this is probably the most exciting game of the tournament thus far. So I think this is a fair prediction. And I'm this time just going to give the edge to Uruguay. So we'll just go with 4-3. Even though Colombia have a lot of momentum on their side, and there's a lot of this could very well be a home game for Colombia. So let's see what's in store. And yeah, I'll stick with the Argentina-Uruguay 2-1 prediction. I think if Uruguay gets a goal, it could it could threaten Argentina a little bit. It could kind of throw them off of. So that's probably less unlikely. Um, a 2-0 is more likely, but I'll just stick with this 2-1 just to keep things exciting. And then, yeah, I think this is fair for the third place game. I do think Copa America plays a third place game, so 4-2, Colombia, Venezuela. Both teams are just going to try to leave it all out there. And for the Golden Boot, I mean, it's going to be Darwin Nunez, without a doubt. He's just scoring a goal every single game, and we'll stick with the Lionel Messi for the Golden Ball. But it could come from the Uruguay side too. But if Argentina wins this tournament, there's a 50%, there's a 75% chance, maybe 80% chance, 90, that Lionel Messi's getting the Golden Ball. So that'll wrap it up. Let's see what happens on Thursday and Friday, and maybe we'll do another recap for the final or so. Thanks, y'all, and enjoy the games.